Hi guys, it's Rachele, and this is Amethyst Ascension, and today I bring you day 17 of the 78 days of tarot, and we are discussing Ik, the Tower, which is the number 16 of the major arcana, which breaks down to the number 7 in numerology, which is also associated with the Chariot, as well as all of the number 7 cards. And of course, the tower that we're talking about. So I'm going to get right on to the numerology associated behind the number 7. The number 7 can be easier described as the holiest and most magical of the cardinal numbers. The 7 holds an intriguing set of qualities within its energetic weight. It is one of logical analysis and attaining understanding, but also one of spirituality and mysticism. This analytical energy of number 7 is full of vibrations, including heightened awareness, knowledge, understanding, logic, organization, and judgment. Secluded introspection and elaborate processes of thought are expressed in the 7, with an exceptionally strong frequency displaying the ability to contemplate and uncover the truth in any given situation. This can be compared to the obsession one has with completing an extremely large puzzle with many pieces. That is the energy of the 7. On the other hand, the 7 can also resonate intensely with all that is mystic and esoteric. Some of its qualities include traits like a thirst for higher knowledge, higher wisdom, ritualistic and ancient knowledge, alchemy, connecting with the collective consciousness, extraordinary psychic abilities, searching within meditation, occult studies, and above all, spirituality and spiritual awakening. If the number 7 was given a goal, it would be to seek and understand as much universal truth as possible. Significant examples of the divine powers of the number 7 include the 7 chakras, the 7 pillars of wisdom, the 7 stars in the Pleiades constellation, which is a cluster in Taurus, 7 stars in the Big Dipper constellation, which is the Ursa Major. Rest on the 7th day after the creation of the universe. The zodiac relationship to the number 7. The 7th sign of the zodiac is Libra. Libra is a cardinal air sign, represented by the symbol of the scales. The scales are symbolic of balance and fair justice. Libra holds fairness and diplomacy at the top of their morals, and also maintain a significant balance between intellect and desires. As Libras can keep this balance within themselves, they expect the same of others. When involved in anything, they will cease to continue taking part in anything if their physical, spiritual, or intellectual needs aren't met equally. As an air sign, they are the quadruplicity that is strongest with logic and communication, which aligns with the number 7. And the number 7 represents high balance on the physical and spiritual. The expression of the number 7 reminds us that we are all able to attain complete harmonious balance on earth. But we need to be willing to combine strength of will within both our lower minds, logic and analysis, and our higher minds, spirituality and mystical beliefs. Also, the 7 energy tells us to stay humble, keeping grounded with our mind is beneficial to psychic powers, but can lead to reclusion or arrogance. Okay, so that is the numerology associated and astrology associated with number 7. Now let me get on to the, that was from wemystic.com. I got that information. And now I'm going to be reading about the actual sign that is associated. Ooh, here we go. So this is from Tarot and Astrology, and it's by Corin Kenner. Mars. How funny is that, right? We just talked about 7, and that being Libra, which is associated with Venus, and then you have Mars, which is your male and your female energies. So anyways, Mars is the warrior planet of energy. aggression, assertiveness, and self-defense. At the same time, the tower is a bastion, a fortification, and a stronghold built to withstand the forces of time and nature. In this case, however, the warrior planet is in full attack mode. The tower is under assault from all four elements. A fiery burst of lightning strikes its peak. Wind and clouds roil the air. A raging sea pounds at its foundations, and the earth quakes. Both the card and the planet symbolize quick, sudden bursts of energy and power. They represent intensity, potency, drive, and desire. They are markers of inspiration and the impetus for change. In most cases, it's important to resist a bolt from the blue or a direct hit from Mars' machinery of war. In a tarot reading, the tower usually heralds a dramatic change. It sometimes refers to breakups or breakdowns and the disintegration or collapse of a structure that you thought was stable, like a relationship, a home, or a career. It can symbolize the destruction of false ideas and beliefs, a purge, or an intervention. Just a frequency, however, the tower represents enlightenment, inspiration, and release. For anyone trapped in an outgrown situation, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Ultimately, the tower experience is one of purification, protection, and self-preservation, as an old structure is torn down so that the renovation can begin. Astrology, Mars is associated with confidence and power. It symbolizes sexuality, stamina, and strength. It governs ambition, aggression, assertiveness, and impulse. Mars also rules sports and competitions, war games that take the place of battle during peacetime. Mars rules Aries, the sign of leadership and action, along with the first house, where astrologers look for information about self-image and physical appearance. In medicine, Mars presides over blood and the male sex organs. It's traditionally associated with fever, accidents, trauma, pain, and surgery. The tower corresponds to the element of fire. Okay. Now I'm going to read out of Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sonova. The tower is based on the Tower of Babel, a creation of ours that was to reach the very heights of heaven. Excuse me, for the builder's glory, not for God's. Then God knocked it down and told us to quit it. I think that's how it went. It's been a while since Catholic school. After the tower fell, God came down to the rubble and made everyone speak different languages, Babel, and they scattered and formed tribes. To sum up, creation, destruction, confusion, rebuilding. In tarot, the tower is about your life dissolving. You've built up this life, this tower, piece by piece. You were sure about each placement of each stone. Then, from out of nowhere, the universe reaches down, grabs your little snow globe of a life, and shakes the hell out of it. Now what? This can be about someone hurting you so badly that you forget who you are. Having someone treat you so unfairly that your breath is literally taken away. About being deceived, robbed, violated, and demeaned. About losing part of your identity. It can be about divorce, death, losing a home or a job, tragedies and accidents, chaos and fear. It's also about rerouting your life. The golden crown gets knocked off man's creation. The men are falling, thinking, oh shit, bad idea, do-over. The base of your venture was shoddy, scrap it. I think the thing that frightens people so much about this card is the suddenness of the change. It's about the universe pulling the rug out from under you, and the taller that you were standing, the harder you fall. If you're expecting a change, you can roll with it. It makes the recovery and rebuilding a lot easier. Less time is required for healing, and you haven't got as much dust in your eyes, and you can see more clearly. There is also a huge lack of control. In this card, there are people falling, lightning, and fire. You can't stop yourself while falling. Can't predict where or how fire will travel, and can't see where the lightning will strike. When you give a reading with the tower, you have to be honest. You have to say to the querent that this is going to be hard, but that is going to be okay. Honesty is always better. However difficult it is finding that path. I would prefer to start Again, rather than keep building and building higher. I would rather have a strong base and the truth than a stack of lies. I don't think, though, that the Tower is a bad card. It is a serious card. Sometimes in our lives, we have to face up to real changes. These changes are uncertain, but I think the thing that gets us through it is faith. Faith in yourself. Faith that the universe is trying to put you where you belong on your authentic path. The Tower clears the rubbish out of the way so that we can rebuild on an empty canvas. I've lived through the Tower a few times. While it's happening, you can't see past the bricks and mortar of your life falling around you. Through divorce, a devastating breakup, loss of a job, or friends that you thought would be around forever, there were times in my life when I was certain that I wouldn't see the sun again. It's only now, after the dust has settled, that I know why the Tower came. Why it took everything away. It came so that I could be here, surrounded by opportunity and love. Yeah. I've had the Tower a few times in my life also. But with it came massive lessons, which are always good. So the Tower. The Tower is associated with fire, Mars, and Mars. The Tower expresses downfall as a result of one's selfish, egotistical ambition. It is a sudden change, a jolting event. I'm sorry, this is from Holistic Tarot by Ben and Belwen. There will be an undermining of the seeker's sense of security or stability. However, new revelations will come after the jolt. The aftermath is truth. The gold lightning rod suggests that there will be a sudden epiphany, realization, or significant spiritual growth through this period in the seeker's life. The falling crown symbolizes toppling materialism, thwarted materialistic ambitions. Judgment suggests an epiphany or realization that leads to Key 21, the world, or divine fulfillment, where Key 16, the Tower, suggests an epiphany or realization that leads to rebuilding and reconstruction. The seeker is still far from divine fulfillment in the Tower card. The Tower often appears in readings for the cutthroat, ambitious, for those who embody the combination of ambitious ego, pride, and talent. Sure, the seeker is talented and skilled, but if ego and pride are not kept in check, the seeker will fall. The card may call to mind the Tower of Babel. The seeker ascended to the top, full of hubris and through ruthlessness and cunning. However, the seeker's ego will be struck down to humility. This is good news, actually. There will be a lesson in humility. Wisdom will be gained in the end. The Tower card can also appear in readings for individuals who are incredibly capable, highly intelligent, and fully aware of their capabilities and high intelligence. However, they have been cut down to a profound low point, and they just don't understand how they could deserve such belittlement. The Tower card often appears in readings for such seekers because it is a warning that the ascent to the top must be paired with spiritual understanding and humility. Otherwise, the ascent will end with a crash downward. The card could indicate sudden change or destruction of past hard work, but hard work that was the result of hubris and ego. In a reading, the card might indicate bankruptcy. Be careful of upheavals and destruction. Be prepared. Pending swift action and strong forces will affect the seeker's stability. However, revelations are to come. The Tower card could also indicate that there will be a sudden game changer, one that will feel out of the seeker's control. It may make him or her feel helpless. The sudden change will not be easy for the seeker to deal with. There will be difficulties. What seems stable and solid to the seeker is not so. It is, in fact, destructible and will come to destruction if the seeker does not make drastic changes. If the Tower card appears in a reading upright, it is not a time to take risks. The seeker should be conservative and cautious. The Tower card can denote important spiritual revelations sprung from fire. It tells the story of people who held one notion of divinity only to have that same divinity break down their notions and cause the people to reevaluate their spiritual purpose. For the seeker's matter at hand, there must be heartfelt reevaluation for the divine revelation to come. If you compare it to the Judgment card, which indicates a more sudden revelation or insight, the element of fire governs this card. Attributions associated with fire will represent the external forces at play in the seeker's situation. The old must be destroyed so that the new can be built, this time correctly and for the right reason. Yang energy is dominant. Okay, so yes, the the tarot or the Tower card is frightening. However, it is a necessity sometimes, because everything that you might be working towards might not be for your actual true betterment spiritually. So, for instances, the Tower card, what I can relate it to in my life. Years and years ago, we had a really, really nice home. The first really nice home that we had purchased. And we had we purchased it when I was pregnant with my second child. And it was so nice. It was like a dream home, and my husband was working hard and things were going good. We were living within our means. And then the economy struck. And we live in Michigan, so it struck us first before it struck the rest of the nation, because of the car industry, especially in Lansing. And just wait, Bubby, get down. So we ended up losing our home and having to file bankruptcy, because even though my husband was still in the same business that he's been in for 30 years, things had changed and business had changed and the economy in our community had changed, and there was just nothing that we could do about it. So what felt like the end of the world, it could have been. But we had to ask ourselves, what lessons have we learned through this? And you know what? It happens. And I'm the kind of person that I think, although I'm not asking for any of these things to happen, we become better people when things happen to us, because we then learn compassion. We learn important lessons that we may not have learned had we not had to struggle with certain adversities. And so, I'm happy to say that we bought another house about a year and a half ago. And this is a house that, I had been wanting an indoor, or not an indoor pool, but an in-ground pool, heated in-ground pool for a long, long time. For as long as I can remember. And we got it. We worked hard. We saved our money. We learned lessons that we had not learned when we were younger and when our children were smaller, and it just wasn't right. But in the end, there was some relief that came from that tower collapsing and us losing our home, because when we moved into another apartment, actually, or another home, our bills were less. So it was less, like that devil that we chain ourselves to because of materialism. We chain ourselves to higher bills and working all the time where you can't enjoy your family. So, it's just simple things like that. That could be a tower. Or, when you look at it more deeply, look at that Tower card. I see a tower. I see gold and fire. I see a golden crown. And I see blue and red. I think of like the, blue and red of our political system, Democrat and Republican. It just seems like right now the Tower card is... Anyway, I don't even want to get into politics. That's a whole other story. But anyways, you could look at bigger meanings in all of these cards. They don't necessarily always have to depict just, you personally. As I've said all along, it can depend on the spread. It can depend on the question. It can depend on where it falls in that spread. It can depend on whether or not it's in reverse or upright, whether or not you read in reverse. It can depend on what the cards that are surrounding it. So, anywho, I'm going to show you all of the other cards. Where are they? Where are they? Did I put... What did I do with them? There they are. Ay, caramba. All right. So this is out of the Universal Rider-Waite. This one is the Hidden Realms, Journey into the Hidden Realms. This is the Gilded Tarot, Cyril Marchetti. This is the Druid Craft Tarot. This is the Everyday Witch. This is the Angel Tarot. What's it say? A significant life event, a powerful revolution that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. Yeah. Wow, look at that one. That's the Shadowscapes. This is the Good Tarot. Yeah, it doesn't look scary by any means. Yeah, I don't know if I really care for that one. Disruption. Yeah, look at that. That's actually very... This is the Psychic Tarot, sorry. This is the Mermaid Tarot. Yeah. I think of like the fall of Atlantis. So there you have it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And as I said, this is day 17 of the 78 Days of Tarot, talking about the Tower card, which is number 16 in the Major Arcana. Please give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to, ring the little notification bell if you'd like to be notified with future videos. I'm wishing you guys always love and light. Thank you so much.